A new free open source tool called Reaver exploits a common security hole in wireless routers and can recover a WPA or WPA2 password with relative ease. Here's how to crack a WPA password step by step with Reaver. First, let's assemble what you need. There are a number of ways you could set up Reaver, but here are the specific requirements for this guide. You'll need the Backtrack 5 live DVD. You should download the Backtrack ISO and burn it to a bootable DVD from the Backtrack website. You'll need a computer with Wi-Fi and a DVD drive. You'll need a nearby WPA secured Wi-Fi network. And lastly, you'll need a little patience. This is a 4-step process, and while it's not terribly difficult to crack a WPA password with Reaver, it's a brute force attack, which means your computer will be testing a number of different combinations of cracks on your router before it finds the right one. When I tested it, Reaver took roughly 2.5 hours to successfully crack my password. Now that you've got everything you need, let's get started. First, boot your laptop into Backtrack. During the boot process, Backtrack will prompt you to choose the boot mode, select Backtrack Text, default boot text mode, and press enter. Eventually, Backtrack will boot to a command line prompt. When you've reached the prompt, type Start X and press enter. Backtrack will boot into its graphical interface. Second, you'll need to install Reaver. Reaver's been added to the bleeding edge version of Backtrack, but it's not yet incorporated with the live DVD, so currently you need to install Reaver before proceeding. To install Reaver, you'll first need to connect to a Wi-Fi network that you have the password to. To do that, click Applications, Internet, WICD Network Manager, and select your network, connect, enter your password if necessary, click OK, and click Connect a second time. Now that you're online, let's install Reaver. Click the terminal button in the menu bar, and at the prompt type apt-get update, hit enter, and then once the update completes, apt-get install Reaver. If all went well, Reaver should now be installed. In the third step, you'll need to gather your wireless card's interface name, the BSSID of the router you're attempting to crack, and you need to make sure your wireless card is in monitor mode. So let's do all that. First, inside terminal, type iwconfig, press enter. You should see a wireless device in the subsequent list. Most likely, it'll be named WLAN 0, but if you have more than one wireless card or a more unusual networking setup, it may be named something different. Now put your wireless card into monitor mode. Assuming your wireless card's interface name is WLAN 0, execute the following command to put your wireless card into monitor mode. airmon-ng start WLAN 0. This command will output the name of the monitor mode interface, which you'll also want to make note of. Most likely it'll be mon0. Finally, you need to find the BSSID of the router you want to crack. To do this, execute the following command: arrowdump-ng WLAN 0. You'll see a list of wireless networks in range. When you see the network you want, press Ctrl-C to stop the list from refreshing, then copy that network's BSSID. It's the series of letters, numbers, and colons on the far left. The network should have WPA or WPA2 listed under the ENC or encryption column. Now, with the BSSID and monitor interface name in hand, you've got everything you need. Execute the following command in the terminal: reaver-i, then paste in the monitor interface name, which in our case was mon0, -b, and then the BSSID, which is that long string of numbers, -vv. Press enter, sit back, and let Reaver work its disturbing magic. It'll now try a series of pins on the router in a brute force attack, one after another. This will take a while. In my successful test, it took roughly 2.5 hours to crack the network and deliver me with the correct password. As I mentioned before, the documentation says it can take longer, between 4 and 10 hours, so it could take more or less time depending on your network. But when it's all said and done, Reaver makes it really disturbingly easy to crack a WPA or WPA2 Wi-Fi password. For more details on how you can protect your network against such cracks, hit up the full post on Lifehacker.